Today, our sharing will be in English, but if you would like to have translation into Chinese, you can click on the interpretation mode. 我们今天的分享会是以英文为主的，但是如果你需要中文翻译的话呢，你可以点击你屏幕上面的这个地球的 logo，然后可以选择中文。我们的翻译员已经Zoe，他会为大家一一的翻译成中文。大家都吃饱了吗？如果可以，你也可以开个镜头。If you can also turn on your camera so that our presenters and our working team will be able to see you. So welcome. Good evening, everyone. My name is Hining. I'll be the MC for tonight's sharing. We will start in about 2 minutes. So 刚刚进来的朋友，如果你是需要听中文翻译的话呢，你可以点击这个地球的 logo，然后选择中文翻译。我们的翻译员柔仪已经在平台里面了，你可以去试探一下。So our sharing will be in English tonight. And if you need, you can go to the interpretation mode for Chinese translation. I'll be your MC for today. My name is Hining. Welcome on board, everyone. Hope you had your dinner already. If you haven't, hope you will have a very good digestion now listening and also joining us at the same time. All right, it is 8:35. Good evening, everyone. If you can, you may mute yourself for the time being until maybe our Q&A sessions at the end. So before we begin, please allow me to read the verse for you. In the heart dwells, in shining light, the human's sense of helping. In the heart's works, in warming might, the human's strength of love. So let us bear the soul's full will in heart's warmth and heart's light. So we work to heal for those in healing need, out of heart's sense of grace. Thank you for listening. So for those of you new to our platform, we are Gongsi Co-op. So under Gongsi Co-op, we are a consumer co-op with Gongsi Academy under the umbrella. The intention of Gongsi Academy is that we believe that a healthy community can be formed through cultivating responsible human beings who leads by heart. And this has become Gongsi Academy's core aspirations to provide a lifelong practical education in whole human development. A whole person that is balanced in our head, hearts, and hands. So a lot of our activities, a lot of our academic classes, it's always based on practical work. So we take the information not just stagnant on our head, not just information for our head, but also it nourishes our heart as well through a lot of doing. And our aspirations in Gongsi Academy is that we strive to realize the picture that every family, there will be a gardener because we all need to eat. But how do we cultivate our own food, right? So by having a gardener in your own community or even your family, a home gardener or a farmer as well, we will be able to safeguard our own nutrition. And we also aspire towards that every family has their own Waldorf teacher or any teachers of the likes that takes care of our child's future in the sense of a whole human being, a balanced and responsible human being. And also a nutritionist, because we need these transformers, right? We have all these good food, but how do we transform them into something that we can access and to digest, and as well as nourish ourselves? And also caregiver. That's why you are all here today, right? Because we want to realize that how can we take care of our loved ones? How can we better be equipped to do what we feel is necessary for our loved ones? And also, lately, we realized that every family, if we have an economist, will be more equipped to realizing a balanced and associative future for the whole community. So tonight, it is an online preview for the upcoming Geriatric Homecare Conference, facilitated by Mr. Rolf Hein all the way from Germany this August. Coming very soon already, right? And our title is about elderly care in our time. Like any living being, we all undergo a life process of living, falling ill, or growing old, right? Any life on earth has to undergo these life processes. But how do we manage when the time comes that we are frailing, right? People worldwide are living much, much longer than they used to. And every country in the world are experiencing the growth both in size and in proportion of older peoples in our population. However, how do we treat our older people, right? Many of us don't really know, right? Because there's no handbook to tell you that, okay, this is what you should do at a certain time of the age of someone's. So we realize that there is a growing need that needs to be taken into account when we look at our elders in the society, because they do have a lot to give, even though we might seem that, they're out of society already, but then they're the ones that have gathered so much years of wisdom throughout their living time. But then how do we translate that into a much more useful way of contributing back to our society, right? So this Anthroposophic Geriatric Homecare Conference intention is mainly to address this issue of our time. And we're very proud and happy that we managed to invite three guests from the Anthroposophic Homecare graduates, whom recently just graduated, and to hear and listen to their insights and their personal experiences, because their journey in adopting and learning about home care in their own ways, how it has helped them along their way, be it in their own lifestyle, in their own homes, or professionally. So first up, I would like to invite Vivian. Vivian Chu is a mother, and she's a practicing macrobiotic practitioner, very, very passionate about food, actually, and in a very vegan way also, and making vegan food delightable and tasty and accessible to people. And she's also the director of Just Ferment, which is, we highly recommend, if you ever get the chance, you can attend their classes and making your own sourdough, your own mao tofu, furry tofu, I think that's the translation, and also your own sourdough and many, many other fermentations. So I would like to hand the session over to Vivian, and she will give you a short sharing of her experience.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope you, is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I learned home care nursing course was on 2019. Then a year and a half later, although he survived, but he faced a complex health issue. Then that including he needs to carry a stoma bag. Then also he has epilepsy and also major depression. So as a result, I become a full-time giver. Then on that stage, I consider myself very lucky and blessed because I received a support from a senior classmate and also teacher during this challenging time. Besides, I'm knowing how to prepare the healing meal for my dad, and mostly every night I will do the rhythmical Aragon massage for him. We call it RE massage on his calf, his thigh, his foot, hand for him every night, mostly without music. Then, and also this is the favorite part that he likes because it helps on his sleep quality. Then occasionally I'll do the foot bath therapy for him, although he prefers the massage more. Like daytime, I'll do that for him. Then for my dad's situation, his condition is like involved not only on the physical injury, but also he's facing the significant of mental disturbance and epileptic distress. So I try to, me and my dad, we try to make a great effort to find the right medications that to reduce his mental suffering and try to overcome it. But throughout the process, his condition is like fluctuated like roller coaster. It's not as easy as we thought because of the medication. It's not easy to find a right medication. Then me as a daughter and caregiver, I also like doing my best to assist and accompany him when he needed my care and attention. Then from that, I learned to from that, my dad gives me experience that I do it without expecting anything in return. Why I mentioned that is because usually when you're a caregiver, you often accept care recipients to follow the instructions and listen to them. Listen to us. So when this happens, if they don't listen, then it will lead to like maybe anger or frustration, then end up with like argument. This is what happened to me before. Because when I'm taking care of my dad, it is very stressful, extremely stressful because it's getting severe on his mental suffering, like in the 6 months before he passed away. Because at that time, he barely able to speak, he can't even watch his favorite movie, no longer able to listen to his favorite music or song, and he cannot tolerate the noise and voices and also movement because all this will make him like a dizzy and having headache. So from that also his physical body is like getting weak, his movement also getting slow and getting fatigued very easily. So for me also I'm quite struggling. I don't know what else that I can do to comfort him. Then it happened one day. He speak to me, he said, he speak to me and he said, I'm very, very, very sad. He said, throughout the daytime. He said, for him, like passing a day is like passing the year for me. And for the moment, he feels very happy and comfort is the moment before he go to bed because he's able to receive the massage from me. So it's like when he told me that, it's like a very, very good compliment, a very best compliment for me. And from that, I believe through this massage, able to build the bonding between me and my dad, especially the love that I want him to receive from me. So my dad, using his last stage of his life, actually consider like educate me to like accept oneself, accept others, and like believe in life. then throughout the journey, I get the chance to learn to be like selfless act and love and compassion towards myself, my family members, and people we love, that people I love, and the people surrounding me. Overall, this is my sharing, and I'm very blessed that if you get a chance, you should join. You should join this course, elderly care conference. Yeah, this is my sharing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vivian. That was very touching and also very invigorating and encouraging also that there's so much that we can give to our loved ones and elderlies also with what we have at home, not just at hospitals and stuff. Thank you. So next, Cheryl, we invite Nikki Ong. She's a mother of two. She was an engineer before, and now she actually became a body therapist and sound therapist because there was a shift in her life. And because of that, she has created the company called Exit in a way. And it is about end-of-life care for the elderly. And here we would like to invite her to share with you about her journey as well as why this conference and why this home care method.
Okay, thanks, Healing. Yeah, and good evening, everyone. So I've only have 5 minutes, maximum 8 minutes. And because the title tonight for the theme tonight is about elderly care, so then I was given a task to share about the case on the case that I supported. So I just think about what could be the most essential to share in these 5 minutes for the session tonight. So I would like to share about also because of the home care course, right? I joined the home care course mainly because I was a new mother in 2019, and I would like to know, to learn some home care technique in an anthroposophic way to support my children. Yeah, to be a better mother. Yes, we always learn to be a better mother. And then, yeah, just because of for my children. And then, of course, we have elderly people at home. And then in my journey of being a massage therapist, I never really focus on elderly people because I always think that elderly people is not an easy person to deal with. And I have no experience, and I don't think I'm ready enough to support the elderly people. So until in the home care course, because they including like take care home care for elderly people, so we learn somehow, and I think it is quite impressive. So I think because I learned something, and somehow in about 2 years back in 2021, and then I received a case as a massage therapist, which is elderly people. It is a woman of about 70 plus years old and is suffering from arthritis on the knee. So she is coping with knee pain, very painful, so painful that she cannot walk anymore. And then the family tried to engage a physiotherapist for her, and she did not want to. And then the family tried all the way to support her, but she just refused everything. And then she just kind of like a bit closed herself up. She was from Penang, but then now is living in KL with the family because of she cannot take care of her own and need to rely on the family. So then the family also, from all the doctors, know that for the arthritis, she needs to move. Movement is important for her to get better. But the problem is she is in deep pain, so painful that she feel reluctant to move. So when she did not move, that means the situation get worse. So it's going into like a vicious cycle, getting worse and worse. So then the question is how to make her move. So family has no way anymore, and then somehow one of the family members know me, so she asked Nikki, can you do something? I say I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I can do the rhythmical Airabong and some massage. Yeah, I suggest rhythmical Airabong, which is a technique that we learned from the home care course with Rolf Heiner. And then I also discussed this case with Rolf about what we can do. So Rolf gives some suggestions, so I just follow the suggestion and try to do something, which is the full body rhythmical environment, which is a body therapy that we can perform for elderly people also. So I say, okay, so we just leave it open. I say, I'm not sure whether I can do or not, but if there's nothing else you can do, then we can try to do something. And then the family agrees. And then also the old woman, she also agreed. So on the first session, we went there. So yeah, we tried to introduce myself and everything. Then she's ready to receive a treatment of the rhythmical environment. Then we start. So on the first session, we never meet each other before, but on the first session, she can already talk a lot. And then usually during a treatment, we don't talk so much, but because of the special situation, I feel that I need to let her talk. So while doing the massage or doing the rhythmical environment, then I was listening to her. So also from listening, I try to understand what is the current situation. So from the first session, you could understand that actually she is very lonely. First, because she has no friend around, because she has already left the place where she used to live in, which is in Penang, and now she's in KL. And in KL, nobody talked to him, and then also nobody talked to her. And the family members also, quite busy with their own life. So according to her, she is very lonely, nobody to talk to her. And because I'm here listening to her, so she really can express herself. So I have the intuition that I need to let her express herself. Yeah, so she's very happy for the first session. And then I asked, would you like to continue for the next session? And then she, yes. And then family also agreed. Family also happy that because she agreed to at least to do something. So we engaged like for a weekly. I visited her on a weekly basis. So just on the second session, she already prepared everything, just when I went to the room, she already prepared one pack of things. And then she take out, she said, this one I have, the dumplings leaf. Now it's the dumpling season, making zhongzi, okay, bajang. And you have whole collection of the leaves, and then also a collection of, shrimp paste, hego, also all from Penang, yeah. And then she take out, she said, I cannot cook in the kitchen anymore. No, not possible for me to make dumpling because it's too complicated. The shrimp paste is to make laksa and not possible for me now also. Now I do not have enough energy to cook even a dish for my family members, not to talk about dumpling and laksa. Then I say, Auntie, I'm not the kitchen person. You give me this, I also don't know how to use. But then she said, but I only know you, and I feel like we are a friend, a good friend I can talk to. I don't know anybody else here. If I don't give to you, I also don't know give to whom. I say, okay, because of this situation, I say, okay, Auntie, I try, okay, I receive, and I try to make something out of that. Okay, so shrimp paste is very easy. That time is a mango season, so you can make or mango with the shrimp paste. Wow, very very tasty, like the rojak, yeah, rojak paste. We make it rojak paste. Yes, whole family we enjoy the rojak paste. So the shrimp paste finished very quickly, and then the zhongye, the dumpling leaves. My whole family, my grandmother is very good in making dumpling, but all the daughters and sons, they are very good in cooking, but making dumpling is something in mission impossible for them. So I say, okay, my auntie, uncle so talented in cooking, but they also cannot deal with dumpling, then what should we do? So then my mother was with me then. So we tried to do something so we try to make dumpling, Yeah, we just try to make something out of the leaves. But it fails anyway. So when I visited her again on the next following week, I said, Auntie, cannot. I cannot make dumplings, sorry, it all failed, and then yeah, we really fed up. Then she's very good in expressing, nah, you can do this, and that. She shared a lot, and then when she shared, she really shine, because this is something that she is good in making with. So I think, yeah, when she is talking, we are doing the rhythmical environment. So I think the rhythmical environment is a good tool for me to work with her, and then she also, meanwhile, she has a chance to express herself. So I think we just set a goal just to listen to her, to let her express. I do not know whether the rhythmical environment work or not, but at least she is happy to talk. And you can see shining more and more and more and more. So yeah, so listening to her. Then from session to session, one day during one of the conversations, she said, oh, over the weekend, I cooked 10 dishes. 10 dishes? And then I said, you can cook 10 dishes? He said, yes, for my family members. I said, how come? You say you cannot cook, just cook for 5 minutes in the kitchen, you already feel exhausted, but now how come you can make 10 dishes? And they said, yeah, I also realized that I can stand longer, and then when I feel tired, I just find a place to hold. You say she find all the creativity to balance herself. She knows that she cannot cook, but at least she knows somewhere she can hold on when she is tired. And then when she feel better, she continue again. So end up she can cook 10 dishes for the big gathering of the family members. Then you know that she found, okay, she's really shining, and then because now she can cook, and then she is something that she can really like 发光发热, to realize her wish to cook in the kitchen. Yes, then she's getting more and more energized. And then one day she said she want to make dumpling again. So I said, are you sure? Then she said yes. And then she said, how do you find the dumpling? I said, sorry, the leaves all I used already all failed. So I have no more leaves with me. And then she said, okay, then we find somewhere to get some leaves. So finally, she really made dumplings again. Then I said, Auntie, how do you say it's too complicated? And then she said, never mind. So I just one day do a bit, and then finally I can do something. I said, good. Because I failed, can you teach me how to do it? Can I come and observe? And then she, yes, of course. So then on one of the Sunday, I went to the house and then we make the dumpling together. And she is so happy in expressing herself and teach me how to tie. Yeah. Yes, so finally she also can make dumpling. Okay, this daughter or this my choo here, they need they don't want mushroom or want more mushroom, they want more luji or less luji. She put all the string different color for all different children and different grandchildren. I say, wow, this is really amazing. And then slowly, then she also make laksa. So find out something that she is impossible. You could see that she could stand longer and longer, and from there, you know that, okay, maybe the rhythmical unravel one way from our understanding, it could support the life forces. So somehow she can walk longer and longer. Here you could see that the life forces is getting strengthened. And then another way is about the heart. You could see that the fire in the heart is to cook. And then this is something that she could really express herself, express her love towards the family members, and something that she's talented in doing, is she enjoy doing. And then once she found passion, and then you could see that it's actually like motivating her. And then, yeah, there's a goal in the life, in daily life, and slowly she starts to move and things getting better and better. So finally, she really can walk already. And then now she agreed to engage a physiotherapy session to work on the physical part to support her to move better, because now she can find the reason to get up, to stand up again, and to contribute, and then to show her love to the family members. So I think, yeah, this is something, I think this is quite an impressive case to share for today. So I think like about elderly care, I think this is usually we care for children more because we think children, they are more helpful than future. But sometimes we neglect the elderly people, but sometimes we forgot elderly people are those who really need more care from us, and they are still human. And then, yeah, they still continue to develop in their, as a human being in their life, they still need to continue development, continue to develop, especially spiritually. Not so much in physically, but the spiritually. But with the rhythmical arrangement that we do, it can also support the physical body so that they can make use of this body as much as possible to deliver what they really want to do in their heart, to support or to contribute back to the society or in the family members. So I think elderly care is something very important to learn, and then especially for the home care purpose. And Rolf Heiner is definitely he is my coach now, and really consulted. I'm really consulting him a lot about the advices for different cases, including elderly care. So I think I would highly recommend this conference. I will be there also for this August. So I hope to see you all there and to learn together in a deeper way. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for that invigorating and exciting sharing case study. And if you want to listen to more of Nikki's sharing, actually, we had invited her to our Gongsi Ideas 2 weeks ago. And you can check out her video on our Gongsi Academy's YouTube page also. And there you can hear her journey, as well as more of a case study that shaped her into who she is today also. And we're so excited to have you in August also. Thank you so much. And last but not least, we have Callie. Callie Tai. She's actually my teacher as well. And she's a student of Dr. Joanne in the life carers practice in helping people to get back their health in the way of salutogenesis. So instead of looking at sick care, we're looking at health care. How can we do practices that uplifts our health so that we can overcome whatever that comes our way? And she's also the director of Gongsi Co-op, and also the founder of Just Life Organic Retailer, as well as Rasa Masa. So her passion is really to seek any ways that possible so that people can meet their destiny, either through food or through practices of any kind. So today she will be our last sharer of the day. And please, Callie, you may take the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, I came across this path, right? This home care. Actually, I have known Rolf, the teacher that is coming to facilitate the August conference. I've known him in 2015 when he came to the Callisto conference in Malaysia, and later on IPMT Malaysia for a few years until 2019 before the movement control. So, but for me, right, home care is always something that I outsource because I felt that there are so many people out there, including my good friend, Dr. Joanne. Yeah, so I always outsource cases, people who needs help to her. But my destiny, I guess, my destiny in home care actually came from my late mother. My mom was sick in 2016, and being the eldest, and also most of my kids are, two of my boys were the most grown up in the family. So I became her main caregiver. And during that period of time, right, that I was with her for 9 months until she passed away, I realized how inadequately equipped I was in looking after her. You know, we were very close. That helps. So we could talk, we could, share our stories and all that. But I felt that, I don't even know how to help her when she was in pain. Yeah. So when she couldn't eat anymore, I ran out of weapons because my expertise was in food. Yeah. So after she passed away, I felt the strong need, to better equip myself so I could help other people's mom and dad. Yeah. So right after I learned home care, my biggest I think my biggest encounter after home care, right, was that I had the courage to touch my dad-in-law and my mom-in-law. I have known my mom and dad-in-law for over 30 years, and I'm married to my husband for almost 30 years. But other than hugging, like hug when we greet and when we say goodbye, and that is probably everything that I've done in terms of that kind of connection. But right after I left the home care course, right? I went back to my in-laws' hometown in Sungai Petani, and I have this urge that I want to do something for them. Yeah, I think that was the biggest gift that I get from Rolf. Not the skill. For those of you who know me, right, I'm not really the kind of person who are good with this sort of touch, massage. I knew the roughly the techniques, but what actually gave me the courage was the gesture and the warmth that radiates from the teacher Rolf. He gave us give me especially so much confidence. Yes, you can do it. It's not the technique that counts, but that warmth and that you want to radiate for the people that you care for. So I got my mom-in-law to lie on the bed, and then that was the second one. The first time when I had the opportunity to touch her was when she had a knee pain. So I tried to sit next to her, and then, and I have never done this before for her, right? So it would be a culture shock. So when I was sitting next to her, and then I told her, I said, Mama, can I help you to massage? So, and I didn't even wait for her to reply. Then I straight away, extend my hand and try to hold her leg, right? And then she had a shock. She was like, totally startled. And that was the time that I realized, how much we have, we thought we are close, but we are so disconnected. Yeah. So that's why I felt that this home care actually gave me so much gift, not the skill, not just the skill. The skill is by practice, I guess, but the warmth and the gesture that we can extend for our family members. And of course, through through what I observed in Rolf, right, the gentleness and all that. So I try to be very gentle with her. And then I said, Mama, please let me do this. Okay, so she relaxed. And then I managed to do a leg massage, the Rhythmica Arapong for her. Of course, very, very bad skill, yeah. But I can see that she really felt good. And then after that, she allowed me to touch her tummy. So I did the tummy massage for her. And I think because she said she had difficulty sleeping. So I said, okay, can you let me try this also? I need to practice. And then she let me practice on her. So, and I can feel that after that, right, I have no difficulty in getting so close with her anymore. And I also, for the first time in my life, right, when my father-in-law had swollen feet, I think last year, yeah, when she came down to KL, and I just took the basin, right, and I bring it in front of her, in front of him, and I said, Papa, I want to do a foot bath for you. And he allowed me to do it. So like what Nikki said, they actually enjoys it and they actually welcomes it. Yeah, so I'm so glad that although my parents both have passed away, I still have my my in-laws that I could do it. And also now I can also extend this care to the people that I come across that whom might need it. Yeah, so I think to me is the encounter with the good teacher, a teacher that truly cares for the people that he give care to. I think that is the thing that gave me this strength, yeah, in doing this. And not that I can do a very good massage or a very good foot bath, but the confidence that, you know, the people who receive the care can feel my intention and they appreciate the action that, you know, that I extend to them. And so even though it's only 2 days conference, yeah, you might be thinking that, oh, 2 days, what can I learn in 2 days? So in 2 days, right, you will be touched by Teacher Rolf, I'm sure. Yeah, so he is, you know, it's whenever he shares about whether nutrition, and this time Rolf is going to share about elderly nutrition, which I find that is really, really helpful, which we have learned in our home care 2 years training as well. But you know, not so much about the technicality of nutrition, but learning to enjoy your food, learning to with our elderly at home, and also why eating is social, you know, all these things he will bring to us. And after 2 days, right, I would say that you will get a lot of warmth, yeah, which you will then be able to share with people around you. That's my sharing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Callie. That was really touching. And really, I think out of all our sharers, right, one thing that keeps resonating, I hope you guys have been paying attention to, is warmth, right? Is the warmth that we can bring back into our community, our families, and our loved ones. And here I would like to briefly share, take a few more minutes before we end our meeting tonight, is about the conference highlights. So whatever that we will be talking about, it will be based on elderly care, but in a very holistic manner. So from our day-to-day care, how can we take care of them physically, to how to prepare food, as well as, you know, listening, and also the world of senses is one that is very interesting. Like what Callie had mentioned, is the touch that actually bridged this gap between all of us. And why not take this opportunity to learn it now, instead of waiting for something to happen, only we start to look for opportunities, right? And also, how do we want to be taken care of in our older age? We can also do this now for our elderly, for the people around us as well. So if you look at this is just a very short capture of what's going to happen we will be talking a lot about the challenges, but also a lot of the methods and potentially the solutions, as well as the whys, the meanings behind things. Why do we need to go through certain situations, so that we are more equipped, not just knowing what to do, but also knowing how to handle it on a physical or spiritual manner. And also, we will also have practical workshops on eurythmy. Biography is one of my favorite, because this is something that it explains why we have to go through certain periods of our time. And foot bath, of course, you've been hearing a lot about. This is something that is probably seems very simple, but gives so much warmth to the people that we are giving or attending to. Sound washing and also rhythmic airaibong is also something that we've always hear about, and also hear a lot of people receiving it, having good response to it as well. Like what Nikki and Vivian's father and also case study has portrayed. So we hope that with that, you will be able to join us this 19th and 20th of August at Federal Hotel in KL. And an in-person conference, the highlight is really the personal touch of it, because we've been online for so long, right? And in order to do this care, the action of caring, it's really dependent on this receiving and giving. And only we can do that through a personal practical experience. And with that also, you will be able to translate whatever you've learned into your hands and then bring it back to your family and friends as well. And also we will have, even though it's an English conference, we will also have Chinese translation throughout the 2 days. And the fees, this is our highlight also, is that it includes 2 days of plant-based organic meals and also refreshment. We hope that through this also that you can get more ideas into preparing your food and meals at home for your family and friends as well, not just for your elderly, because these are the things that are so applicable and easy to do at home. And most importantly, try to do it as soon as you can, register as soon as you can, because our early bird ends next week. And after that, it will be a normal price. And we hope that before that, you don't have to wait for too long, right? Because ultimately, we all grow old. We all need some form of way of taking care of each other. Then why not do it now? Do it when you're still healthy, especially. This is what we are hoping from us at the Gongsi Academy to all of us in our community as well. So here I will highlight a bit of the QR code. You may take a snapshot, or later, if you stay back for a bit, we will share the link onto, yes. Woonly has shared the registration link that you can click on and fill in tonight if you can. And if you have any questions, we can open the floor for we can open to 3 questions perhaps. You can type it out in the chat room, or you can raise your hand if you want to. Or maybe take this opportunity to breathe out. What was the one word or one sharing that you really touched your heart? What is your harvest? I think this is something that we always like to hear from you as well. Do share your harvest, either one word or one sentence on our chat room. This will also empower us and give us warmth. Delphine, overcome the fear to touch and care for elderly. Indeed. I think my personal one would be the zhong dumpling story, because that's exactly what I miss the most now, my grandma's cooking. And the feeling of elderly and not knowing how to take care of them and stopping them, that's how we used to do. The reaction that we have is when they are incapable, we stop them from doing what they can. But actually, that also doesn't help them at that age and time. So a lot of this, we see it now, and we hope that you don't have to wait until, have to go through all this. There are a lot of people that had gone through it that will be at the conference as well, that could, encourage each other, caregivers, people with zero knowledge as well. It's okay, because that's what this conference is about. If you have zero knowledge or experience, then you can start equipping yourself. And if this is something very new, the iRaibong, the touch, this is also a very good chance to experience it yourself as well, to bringing additional inputs into your practices as a caregiver. And the warmth that we're talking about, that's something that Teacher Rolf always portrays and gives us in person. This is something that only you can experience it yourself when you meet him in person. So if there's no questions, then probably we can end early of our sharing today. So one last chance for any questions. And if you also don't forget to follow us on for more information. Any more questions? If not, then we will end our sharing with a closing verse. A healthy social life is found only when, in the mirror of each soul, the whole community finds its reflection. And when, in the whole community, the virtue of each one is living. Thank you, everyone. We hope you have a good evening, and don't forget to click onto the form, give it a read, and we will hope to see you in August. Thank you. Thank you to all the sharers, Callie, Nikki, and Vivian. Thank you so much. And also to Zoe, our translator, for the night.